Well, hello everybody. We've just had our Easter break. We hope you've had a wonderful holiday. We just want to you to remember, if you can, the Easter poem, which we did a while back. You may have not have seen it yet, but hopefully you see it before you see this video. We want you to remember how Peter, when he told Jesus he would never deny him, that in actual fact, when it came to it and he was asked, "Oh, surely you are a friend of Jesus." "No, I didn't know him." And that was because he was afraid that they might kill him. And he did it he denied 3 times. He had 3 opportunities to say he did know Jesus, and he didn't. And Jesus had told him this was the case, and he had said, "No, I would never deny you." And we can be a bit like that ourselves until the moment comes and we're put in that situation. So anyway, Sheila's going to start our story today, tell us about it, and we'll get going. So listen out carefully.
So you remember how sad Peter and his friends were because Jesus had died. And Peter had let Jesus down, hadn't he? Do you remember how many times Peter had said that he didn't know Jesus? That number is important. If you listen carefully to our story, you will hear why.
So Peter's happiest day. It was a lovely spring morning. Outside the birds were singing and the sun was shining, but inside the house it was dark and gloomy. Peter and his friends felt dark and gloomy too. It was now 3 days since Jesus had died on that horrible cross. They all felt very sad and very sorry because they hadn't done anything to help him. They were also afraid to go outside because the people who had killed Jesus might be looking for them too. Suddenly they heard footsteps outside. Then there was a gentle knock on the door.
"Who is it?"
They asked nervously.
"It's me, Mary Magdalene,"
said a soft voice. So they opened the door and let her in. Now Mary was a special friend of Jesus too. Early that morning she had gone with the other women to visit the place where Jesus had been buried. Now she had something very strange to tell them.
"His body has been taken from the tomb. The stone has been moved and his tomb is empty,"
she said.
"We don't know where it's gone."
Peter and John wanted to see for themselves, so they hurried off as fast as they could. They ran faster and faster until they came to the cave where Jesus' body had been put. John got there first. He bent down and peeped inside.
"All I can see are the strips of cloth that were wrapped around Jesus,"
he called to Peter. Peter went right into the cave to see for himself.
"Everything here has been folded up neatly,"
he shouted.
"But Jesus is definitely not here."
It was all very strange. They walked slowly back to tell the others. They gathered inside the house again. They didn't know what to do, so they waited to see what would happen next. Then suddenly Jesus was in the room with them. Jesus, their own dear friend. He was alive. He showed them the marks from the cross on his hands and feet, and they were overjoyed. But somehow, deep inside, Peter didn't feel happy. He kept thinking how he had let Jesus down, how he had pretended he hadn't known him 1, 2, 3 times. Later, the friends decided to go back home to Galilee. But even there, Peter still didn't feel happy deep down inside, not even when they went fishing, just like in the old days. Then suddenly it happened again. Jesus was there on the seashore,
It's Jesus.
shouted John. Peter was so excited that he jumped out of the water into the water and splashed his way to meet Jesus. Jesus cooked them all a barbecue breakfast, and when they were all munching happily, he spoke quietly to Peter.
Peter, are you my friend?
Yes,
Said
you
Peter.
know I am.
Then Jesus asked the same thing a second time.
Peter, are you my friend?
Peter thought this was a bit strange, but he answered.
Of course I am.
It was only when Jesus asked for a third time,
Peter, are you really my friend?
that he realized what Jesus was doing. Jesus was giving him the chance to put right what he had done wrong. 1, 2, 3 times he had let Jesus down. Now 1, 2, 3 times he could put that right. Peter looked straight at Jesus and said, You know
everything about me. You know I am your friend. You're my best friend.
From that happy day, no matter what happened, Peter knew that he would always be Jesus' friend. So Sheila. No.
Many times did Peter say he didn't know Jesus? And how many times did Peter say he was Jesus's friend? Jesus knew just how to put things right with Peter and how to make his friend feel better. Sometimes friends can do things that hurt us. This story shows that it's good to forgive our friends when they are sorry. Close your eyes and think about any friendship that might need mending today. And now I'm going to say a prayer, and if you want to make it your prayer, say Amen at the end after me. Dear God, Jesus always knew the right things to say to his friends. Help us to say things to our friends that are good and kind, and not say things that are hurtful. Amen.
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 Amen. Well, thank you very much for being with us. I hope you enjoyed the story, and always remember that it's better to be kind and to love your friends and to forgive them if they hurt you. So bye-bye and see you next time. Bye.
Bye.
Bye.